So I just thought that was weird. I mean, because his soul was drawn to her. He wanted to cling. Then it says that he loved her. And I was like, oh, Moyo's going to glom on to this and be like, there's another love word.
Not love.
Right. Where we just come off of what Jacob has done to get to Rachel. And then you want to say that this guy loved her?
Yeah. It's too generic of a word.
Oh, yeah. And what I think is interesting is that, and this just hit me, that maybe it's the action that surrounds the word. Does that make sense? Like when you say Jacob loved Rachel, it does not come off as an odd thing. It doesn't come off as though it's disingenuous because Jacob worked 14 years to
Yeah.
get Rachel. So there's some action behind that love.
Yeah.
In this case, when he says he loved her, the action that surrounds it that helps to put that love in context does not scream.
Yeah.
Right? So they're disingenuous. They're disjointed. They don't seem to match together.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the action that needs to be looked at. And even, I was hoping this would be a short episode, but I'm already talking a whole bunch. And even when you think of today with the Lord, it says, this is how we know that the Lord loves us, that he did some action, which was to send his only begotten son. What's going on, XYZers and XYZ Nation? We are Generational Scriptures, and we are back at you with the next episode. Today, we're looking at Genesis chapter 34. And the title of this episode is Just Leave Me Alone. I'm not going to try and sing it this time. But hopefully that title makes sense as we go through the chapter. I don't know. I was just feeling like Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So, all right. With that said, there's also something else we're supposed to do. And that something is to introduce ourselves. So I am the latchkey one himself, the former X-Man representing Gen X all up in the area. And next to me, we have...
I am Maya, the resident millennial. And together we are
Generational Scriptures. All right. Woo. So we just gonna keep rolling, I guess. No banter, nothing to talk about. Y'all missed all the banter we were talking earlier. I can't think of anything else to try and drag her along into. So next up, we have what we normally do, the Eyes So Boom segment by none other than Moya.
All right, so Genesis chapter 33. Jacob sees Esau approaching with the 400 men. And if we remember from chapter 32, the servants or the messengers had come back and told Jacob that Esau was coming with 400 men. So now he's seeing those 400 men approaching, and he divides his children amongst their mothers. So the servants get their children, Leah and Rachel get their children, and then he lines them up. Servants in the front, Leah second, Rachel and Jacob. I said it again. Rachel and Joseph in the back. And then Jacob goes ahead of all of them and bows himself to the ground 7 times as he approaches his brother Esau. Esau runs to meet Jacob, embraces him, kisses him. They fall on each other's necks. They weep. They do all the things. And he's just so happy to see his brother. And Esau sees the women and children. He's like, who are these people?
Right.
And Jacob introduces his family to him. Basically, they all approach Esau one at a time in the order that they were in. And then Esau asks about the gifts that were sent in chapter 32.
Right.
And Jacob says, I sent them in order for me to find favor in your sight.
Yeah.
And Jacob, insists that this is what he's doing. Esau says, I have enough. I don't need it. You keep your stuff. Jacob is like, no, I insist you take it. And in that chapter, we talked about what it means to accept a gift versus not accepting a gift. So definitely go back and check that out. But eventually Esau is like, okay, I'll take it. And he takes the gifts. And Jacob describes seeing Esau as like seeing the face of God.
Yeah.
And we talked about that as well. Like
Yep.
he should have died meeting his brother here, but he did not. Like
Right.
Esau is looking at him favorably,
Right.
which he was not expecting.
Right.
Esau then says, like, hey, let's go. Let's go to where we going. You follow me, I follow you, like, and let's all go together. And Jacob was like, no, I have the kids, I have the animals, you know, there's some nursing animals. I have to kind of walk at a slower pace. Otherwise, if I drive them too hard, you know, bad things will happen. So Esau is like, well, at least let me give you some of my men or my people and let them stay with you to, we assume, to help. It doesn't specifically say. And Jacob was like, no, there's no need. Like, we're good.
Right.
So then Esau returns to Seir, and Jacob travels to Succoth.
Yep.
He builds a house there. He makes booths for his livestock.
Yep.
We talked about how long he could possibly have been there. Like, was it a transition period? Was he at the place that God wanted him to be? Things like that. Right. So again, go back and watch for full details. But eventually the chapter ends with them saying that Jacob arrived safely in the land of Canaan near Shechem. Right. He buys land from the son of Hamor. Yep. And he sets up camp. He builds an altar and he names the place did I not write this down?
Elohi Israel.
Yes. El Elohi Israel. God, the God of Israel. Yep. And that's where we end chapter 33. Cool.
Yeah. I wanted to start doing this. I don't know. Let's see how it works. But she's like, oh, he's like, here he go.
Like, let's just go. No, so what are you trying to start?
No, but just sort of like an overview of what we'll see in this chapter to try and frame it, right? Not to get into the details, but just some things to look out for. And I think, and you can let me know if you agree or not, but when we look at this chapter, one of the things, this chapter reminds me a lot of Genesis chapter 38 with Judah.
Oh, like the placement of it?
The placement of it, the agents or the persons, their actions, the ambiguity of their actions. Are they good? Are they bad? Are they right in doing the things that they do? Do they go too far in doing the things that they do?
Yeah. Right? I think also what seems to be not disregard, but like we just move on after that. Like the story is dropped and then we move on. Right. And eventually it comes back around, but it seemed like that's why I said placement. Like the placement of it seems very like, why are you telling us this?
Why is this here?
And why are you telling?
Yeah. And so that's a good one too. So I think it just to help frame what we're getting into and help people understand. And I thought that's maybe something we can do. Maybe, I know it's getting to the end of this season, but maybe try and just carry it forward. Just sort of like what are we looking at as an overview of the chapter that we're getting ready to go through? I thought that would be cool.
At the beginning or at the end?
At the beginning. So the idea would be, and you all on XYZ or XYZ Nation, you all can let us know if this makes sense or not, or if this will be helpful. But I think if you do it at the beginning, then it helps to frame how you look at and understand the chapter.
Okay.
Right? Because with that said, and this is what I'm thinking, that now I need to read and look at this chapter as the people, what they do, what their reactions are as we go through the different, segments of it.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I just thought that just came to me this week. I figured it'd be cool just to talk through a little bit. And with that said, we're going to get into it. So, Genesis chapter 34, verses 1 through 4. Now Dinah, the daughter of Leah, whom she had borne to Jacob, went out to see the women of the land. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, the prince of the land, saw her, He seized her and lay with her and humiliated her. And his soul was drawn to Dinah, the daughter of Jacob. He loved the young woman and spoke tenderly to her. So Shechem spoke to his father, Hamor, saying, "Get me this girl for my wife." Man, so we are introduced to Dinah again, and she just wants to go out and see what's going on in this place that they're in called Shechem.
Yeah.
So she goes out to see the women,
Yeah.
and you get this prince. Is his so what was it we said? The names, his name is Shechem. They are in Shechem.
Yeah.
And his dad's name is Hamor.
Yeah.
It's just weird. But Shechem sees her, and the way that this reads is almost like the taking of the fruit by Eve, where she saw it and then she took it and then did the thing that she wasn't supposed to do, which was to eat it.
Mm.
And you get that same sort of sense here when he's like he saw her, he seized her, he took her, and then he did something that was not right for him to do.
Yeah.
Right. So, what's your take on this activity and what's happening here?
All right. So, in the
We
beginning,
went back to the ISO boom.
in the beginning, when it starts off, right, we're talking about Dinah, and remember when Reverend Coleman was here, he said she's the only daughter because she was the only one listed. Then when we get to this chapter, I started thinking about that again. Like, would you go out by yourself if you had sisters? Would you go out, period, as a woman in an unknown land?
I mean, okay, go ahead. I don't.
So, and then I was like, okay, maybe it's a little bit cultural because where she's from, her mother or her aunt, because her mother is Leah, so her aunt Rachel was a shepherdess. So maybe there's more agency for women to be free and to roam and to go look for other women, maybe. And then I was like, if we think about back, well, I guess forward to Ruth, but back for us to Ruth story, it had to be said for the men to not touch her.
True.
It was like, you have protection here.
Yep.
The Naomi was like, hey, you need to be careful when you go out. And these people are before that time. So is this not established yet? Do they know yet that this is happening? But we also have Rebecca's story. We have Sarah's story of like just being out and about.
Yep.
But this guy is not, he's not like Pharaoh and what's his name? Abimelech. He's just harassing. Like it just seems a little crazy. But I was just like, I started thinking, like, is she the only daughter? Is that why she's looking for other women? Is that like, why were you in the situation? And this is not victim blaming. It's just like, how did we get here? Because we always talk about like, how do we get into this situation? And we just get dropped into this. And in the first 4 verses, they're telling us all this has happened. And we're like, wait a minute. How did we get here?
Right. How do we get
Like you have 11 brothers.
Right. Why are you alone?
Yes.
Yeah. I get that.
But her brothers don't play, so we'll
get there. We'll definitely get there. And that's a good point because some of the commentaries that I read said that in a lot of the some of the Jewish writings, I think they were like called targums and stuff like that, that there was some victim blaming. And I'm like, yeah, that's not fair.
Yeah.
That's not fair at all.
Yeah.
And I also think that what part of this and what we'll see, so when we opened up, it's like the agents. One of the agents that we don't get a lot of information on, but I think we need to think about the impact that they have is Jacob. Because Jacob is the one that's responsible ultimately for the protection of Dinah. So like you were saying, when, Boaz, what did I call him? I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Chestnut?
Yeah, Morris Chestnut.
Morris. Oh yeah, Morris. Okay.
With Morris Chestnut, gets off of the camel that he rode on and tells her that she's safe here, he's sort of setting up those boundaries for her protection. And so you would have expected for Joseph to do that. And this
Jacob.
Thank you. See, I did it too.
Yeah.
So you can get this idea, this feeling that Jacob is not doing the protective thing that he's doing. And at the same token, I don't think that you can fault Dinah for saying, if she is the only male, only female, for saying, hey, I want to go out and see what the women are doing.
Yeah.
I mean, even just to interact and see the culture and
Yeah.
see what's happening. I don't know that there's anything necessarily wrong with that, but we can see it got her into some situations that
Yeah.
weren't good for her.
And I think to this point, I just felt like there was a, if you've been in this caravan of people that are kind of protecting you, because we know that Jacob to some degree is trying to protect his family at all times. Like he's
Yes.
always thinking
just
about how to, we just saw that. So if that's what she knows, she might not know that the world is not like that. Like outside of your family protecting you, no, everybody else is not looking out for you that same way.
Yeah.
And it's sad. I mean, even today it's still like
It's
that.
still,
Like,
yeah,
you
it's
can't
sad.
just
Yeah.
you can't just want to go see the girl across the street.
Right. Because you don't know what might be over there waiting.
Yeah.
So the prince, that's always called, the son of Hamor. Now, I think when we get later, I don't know if we call this a city or just like a community of folks, but somehow they think of Hamor as being their leader. And
Mhm.
so his son, Shechem, right, calling him a prince because he's the son of Hamor. But his one thing that throws me is that after he does what he does, right, this essay, then it's like the tide turns. It's like he loves her. He's like, and I struggle with that. Like, dude, are you like
Something wrong with you.
schizophrenic? And his soul was drawn to Dinah, the daughter of Jacob. Like, all of a sudden, he couldn't live with it. He's like, I'm clinging to you. I just want you with me. I'm like, bro, what's wrong with you?
Yeah. I couldn't understand it either. Because I'm just, you're evil. Like that's all I'm thinking. Like, what is wrong?
Right.
Something is wrong. And you could have just, if you loved her in any way, you could have just started with
You did
I
that,
love
right.
her. I want to. I'm sure they would have given. Let me not say I'm sure. It would have been considered
Right.
if you just went and asked.
Yes. Yes.
So why?
Why this way?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And it gets me back to how we open, which is I think that you're just seeing people be people. It's hard to explain why somebody does some of the weirdness and craziness and bad stuff evilness that they do.
Yeah.
Right? It's my thing from The Dark Knight. Again, I know you don't watch movies. But The Dark Knight, Alfred said to Bruce Wayne, says something to the point that some people just want to see the world burn, right? It's just like, for whatever reason, some people just want to cause chaos. They just want to do evil. They just want to do things for no particular reason.
Mm.
And I mean, that's just how we are.
Yeah.
That's how people are, especially those who are apart from the Lord and who have, in our modern times, who do not have the Holy Spirit in them to lead them or to guide them in the way they should go. So I just thought that was weird. I mean, because his soul was drawn to her. He wanted to cling. Then it says that he loved her. And I was like, oh, Moyo's going to glom on to this and be like, there's another love word.
Not love.
Right. Where we just come off of what Jacob has done to get to Rachel. And then you want to say that this guy loved her?
Yeah. It's too generic of a word.
Oh, yeah. And what I think is interesting is that this just hit me that maybe it's the action that surrounds the word. Does that make sense? Like when you say Jacob loved Rachel, it does not come off as an odd thing. It doesn't come off as though it's disingenuous because Jacob worked 14 years to
Yeah.
get Rachel. So there's some action behind that love.
Yeah.
In this case, when he says he loved her, the action that surrounds it that helps to put that love in context does not scream,
Yeah.
right? So they're disingenuous. They're disjointed. They don't seem to match together.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the action that needs to be looked at. And even, I was hoping this would be a short episode, but I'm already talking a whole bunch. And even when you think of today with the Lord, it says, this is how we know that the Lord loves us, that he did some action, which was to send his only begotten son.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever it talks about the Lord, not all the time, but I can think of two cases where it talks about the Lord loving the people, his creation. It says that we know that he loved us because he sent his son.
Mm-hmm.
There's an action that goes along with that love that should put it in context and let us know that he really loves us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't see that here.
No. No, we don't.
Yep. And then he's like, he spoke tenderly to her. It's like, I really didn't mean it. I'm sorry, I behaved that way. But I really like you though. Just can you hear me? Can you listen to me? Can you sit down? It's like
Yeah.
he's smarmy, slimy.
And we don't know. We don't even get a view of like what were her thoughts after this.
But
We don't get to hear from her. Period. Again.
and again, I think there was something similar in what was going on with Tamar, especially early on before she did what she did.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we see that same type of thing happening here. So sometimes when we read scripture, again, that's why I think we look at all of the people who are involved, the voice that they have, the voice that they don't have, the actions that they do, the actions that they don't do, the harshness, the abrasiveness of the actions that are done in response to something, or as in an initial action that may cause other things to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's life. That's all I can say about this chapter is that it's life.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, you don't agree?
I don't. I just. I don't know. Stuff like this is just a lot.
It's a lot. It's
Yeah.
hard. Yeah, I get it.
And I be watching too much true crime, so it doesn't help.
So you're already doing like all of the forensics to try and catch
Yeah,
them.
yeah, and I don't like that. I don't like that she doesn't. We don't know how she felt about it. Like we
Right.
can imagine to some extent, but without talking to her. Like, okay, now you want me to be your wife. I still am not getting a say.
Mhm.
Like you forcibly take something from me, and now you forcibly want to, I guess, make my parent or my dad or whoever give me to you. When do I get a say in what's going on?
Right.
Where we know that Jacob, like with his wives, he, not with Leah necessarily, but with Rachel. And I guess when he was leaving, he spoke to them, like he gave them a voice. But then his one daughter that he has is being put into this situation. It's like, or I guess if we keep going, when we keep going, it's like he's just, what you gonna do, daddy? Like, what are you about to do, bro?
Exactly. Yeah, I think we'll see that in the next couple of verses. One thing I want to say is when I was reading through one of the commentaries, it would always point me to, it wouldn't always, but for this section, it pointed me to some of the laws that were set in place in Exodus, right? In Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, right?
Mm-hmm.
That the Lord had put in place to try and help to protect, you know, the women in these situations.
Yeah.
So, and it's what was put in place at that time. And so I don't think you can say that the Lord didn't really care what was happening, because there are laws that are put in place to help to address this situation. Like, if she was supposed to be married, then this guy, Shechem, was supposed to be killed. Um, if the guy said that he wanted to marry her, and she was like, "Okay, I'll marry him," I don't know why or when that would happen. Then okay, there was an opportunity for her to be married to this guy and go through the whole marriage thing. If she didn't want to, then she didn't get married to this guy, right? So yeah, I don't think we can say that the Lord doesn't care about what's happening here.
Mhm.
It's just not, at this point in time, it's not codified in a law that Israel needs to do, even though it is referenced later about this, what happened, but it's not codified in law exactly how to handle it. Although, when I was reading the commentary, it made it seem like they could have done these things. So I don't know how that works, because it's a little anachronistic, meaning that I'm bringing time, I'm bringing into a situation something that doesn't match time.
Mhm.
There's a law that the Lord puts in place, but I'm trying to bring that law back to this time, and it hasn't been codified yet. He hasn't given it yet. So how am I going to apply that law here?
Yeah.
Anything else here?
No, I think we could go on.
Okay.
All right, Genesis chapter 34, verses 5 to 7. Now Jacob heard that he had defiled his daughter Dinah, but his sons were with his livestock in the field. So Jacob held his peace until they came. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out to Jacob to speak with him. The sons of Jacob had come in from the field as soon as they heard of it, and the men were indignant and very angry, because he had done an outrageous thing in Israel by lying with Jacob's daughter, for such a thing must not be done.
Hmm. So what are you thinking?
Jacob keeping his peace didn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Also, how did he find out?
Yes. 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 Yes.
I think I know how the sons find out, because I'm assuming he let them know.
I didn't make that assumption.
I did. Hamor.
I didn't.
Because he said he kept his peace until they came, but it felt like the sons of Jacob had come in from the field as soon as they heard of it. So you're saying you don't think they sent,
That
like,
doesn't mean that Jacob sent anyone.
so everybody, how is this spreading then?
It could be the rumor mill. It could be. Have you heard about who Shechem found, and what he did, and who's in his house right now? And
Mm,
I mean, let's be honest. These people hear about a whole bunch of stuff, and
they
it's been
do
happening
hear.
way back since Rebecca,
Yeah.
right? But something this egregious, I think that there are people that know, and it wouldn't surprise me if it was just being spread around by rumor, or somehow it came back
Yeah.
to Jacob. And because he held, and this is what I didn't quite get, because he held his peace, I'm not sure that I would give the hearing of what's happened to their sister in the field to Jacob. I'm not sure I would attribute it to him, because he's not acting. He's not doing anything.
Yeah. I don't know.
I get the feeling you don't like Jacob right now.
I mean, it's not. I don't know if it's his fault. I can't say it's his fault per se.
It's right. I
But
agree. It's not his fault, but
yeah.
I feel like you're getting ready to say a but.
But I need you to have more energy.
Right.
I need you to be like the
Right.
brothers. Like, that's your baby,
Right.
and we
That's your
are
girl.
assuming it's your only daughter.
Right. Yeah. So you would like to see him
Be like, well,
have, but so you compare Jacob to how were his brothers?
yeah, her brothers are like, this. No, this
Yeah.
is not okay.
Yeah. And also notice the point that they keep making about Dinah, because Dinah is a daughter of Leah,
Hmm.
right? These brothers who come back are her blood brothers, not half.
Well, right now we're just told the sons of Jacob, right? So it could be any of them at this point.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah. I think all of them probably were, like when we were talking about Joseph's story, where it was
Yeah,
always
always
a
a group.
group.
Yep.
Until it needs to be specified who.
Right.
Right now, the group is upset.
You're right.
Who is going to act is different than
You're right.
we're all upset. So if
Okay.
we imagine that, except for maybe Joseph, because we don't know how old he is, he might be a baby
Mhm.
or like young still. But the ones that are old enough to be upset are upset.
Upset. Yes. Agreed. Yeah. Yeah. And then we get this snippet in here again that might be a little anachronistic. Where it says, because he had done an outrageous thing in Israel by lying with Jacob's daughter. Like, it's almost like to show, this is how I took it, and you let me know what, if you thought something different. It's almost like saying, to show how bad this is, even in Israel, even now, as Moses is writing this is a big deal. This is a bad thing to happen.
Yeah.
This should not happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And CSB says against Israel. ESV is saying in Israel.
Right.
So is it Israel, the nation?
Yep.
Like we're using in Israel, the nation. CSB seems to be saying against Israel, the nation, but also the person, because we keep describing her as Jacob's daughter. Jacob's daughter.
Yes.
Over and over.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. That there's some discussion about that, whether it is an offense to Israel himself, like Jacob Israel, or whether it's an offense that would be a huge offense in Israel, as in the time that Moses is writing this.
Yeah.
So
I
you
mean,
can
both
sort of
should
see
be
both.
true.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm with you. I am with you. Yeah. So it's the plot is thickening, and you have to think about and consider, like you were saying, Moyo, Jacob's inaction. Then I think you also have to consider the brothers, and their anger and what that's going to lead to in their actions next.
Mm.
Right. Anything else?
No.
One thing that we didn't mention. And Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out to Jacob to speak with him. So, because of Shechem's plea to his dad that we saw in the last set of verses we read, now Hamor has actually gone out to speak. And so you've got everybody there, with the exception of Dinah, which you've got all of the, her brothers, her dad, Hamor, Shechem, everybody's there. And they're getting ready to have this conversation.
Yeah.
All right. Genesis chapter 34, verses 8 through 12. But Hamor spoke with them, saying, the soul of my son Shechem longs for your daughter. Please give her to him to be his wife. Make marriages with us. Give your daughters to us, and take our daughters for yourselves. You shall dwell with us, and the land shall be open to you. Dwell and trade in it, and get property in it. Shechem also said to her father and to her brothers, let me find favor in your eyes. And whatever you say to me, I will give. Ask me for as great a bride price and gift as you will, and I will give you whatever you say to me. Only give me the young woman to be my wife. So now we get into the discussions that they're having. Well, actually, what Hamor is placing on the table to try and get Dinah for his son Shechem.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I don't know. I'm just shaking my head.
Yeah.
I don't know what the father knows, what Shechem's father knows in terms of what has been done to Dinah.
Yeah. We don't know.
If we assume he doesn't know, then okay.
I mean, to me, it would be kind of hard to not know. I mean, there's this woman who's in your house, right? We find that out later, but we can say that now, I think. Jacob has overheard somehow, so it's not like it's quiet.
Yeah. And
You
his
are
sons
the de
know.
facto king, right, of this region of Shechem. I don't know how you don't know, but I think since his son asked, he's trying to give him what his son wants. And at the same time, if he can get this done, it sort of saves face and provides an opportunity for them to still work together,
Yeah.
which is what his plea is ultimately getting to,
Yeah.
right?
I feel like I don't know. I don't really have words for this chapter.
It's all good.
But yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he makes his proposal.
Yeah.
The idea of them just having a sort of treaty. Oh, we have your daughters, you have our daughters, you can settle here, you can have this land, you can make a home here, you can trade, like we can all live together as one big happy family, but it's on the backs of Dinah
It's on the back.
being
Right. Yeah.
essayed.
Yeah. And but see, and I think there's a bigger thing too, because you're asking for things that you don't really know about King Hamor. You don't know that ultimately this land will not be yours anyway, because he's in Canaan now. This land has been promised to Jacob and to his offspring.
Yeah.
So what you're bartering with isn't really yours,
Yeah.
right? And then you also think of the marriage. The marriage of daughters to the sons of Jacob and Jacob's daughters to and no, that wouldn't work either, because when we've looked at marriage, the past two marriages that Abraham and Isaac have set up, they wanted them to find wives outside of Canaan.
Yeah.
So that still doesn't really line up with what has been done in the past and what the Lord seems to want for this people that he's putting together.
Yeah.
So Hamar is suggesting these things, and they're just way out of whack from what the Lord wants. And I think the question that we don't get answered is, what does Jacob think about these things?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
He's not saying anything.
He's not saying
He's just
anything, because what you would want him to say is, look, the Lord, my God, has already given me this land, so it's not yours to give. I'm going to get it anyway. I
Yeah.
mean, because he should be a little upset. Just, I was about to say something else from another movie. I'm not going to do it. Our the nation that the Lord is raising up is apart from anyone who is in Canaan. So
Yeah.
we're not going to do that either.
Yeah.
Right? That's what you would want him to say. So give me back my daughter. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think when you look at the chapter as a whole, as you were saying, it could still be that some fear in Jacob
Mm-hmm.
of we're not big enough yet. We're not strong enough yet. He's not fully trusting in God yet. Like, yes, he has prayed. Yes, he has been changed his name to Israel, I guess twice by now. Like,
Yeah.
we're doing this process, but he's still growing. He's still trying to,
Yeah.
I don't know if he's fully leaning on God for things. And even in his non-reaction, it's still not I'm going to go seek God to see what I should do. It's
Right.
just I'm going to keep my peace.
Yeah, he's just,
I'm going to be relaxed. I'm not going to overreact. I'm not going to, like, that's how it feels. It feels like
yeah.
I'm amongst people that I don't know, so I need to be careful.
Yeah. And I just thought of this. It's giving shades of Adam, who all of this conversation between Eve and the serpent is going on. And by the time she finally eats of the fruit, it says she gave to Adam, who was with her. Bro, you could have stepped in at any point in time to try and break this up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You, Jacob, you can step in any time to say, no, I want my daughter back.
Yeah.
But you don't. It doesn't seem like you do.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be too hard on him. I kind of do, but I kind of don't, because nothing is really recorded But I think his silence speaks volumes in this case.
Yeah.
All right. And so I think we got to mention Hamor makes his pitch, talking about land, talking about family, talking about daughters, talking about marriages, and then Shechem comes in and he pitches his part. Again, the disjointedness of his actions with what he says about her in terms of loving her and what he says about this situation and what he will do just don't line up. Let me find favor in your eyes. I'll give you a huge bride price. Right? So that would be the equivalent of um, Jacob working 14 years. That was the price that he basically paid for Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
I say that. Is that fair? I guess it is. It's still it's fair because he had to work 14 to get to Rachel. He only had to work 7 to get to Leah. But it just okay. But anyway, it's a different story. But so he's saying, I'm willing to give whatever you ask. I'm willing to do. Just give me this woman for a wife.
Yeah.
It's there's still that disjointedness there. Could there be any earnestness on his part?
There could be, but I don't care. Like, I don't care if he's earnest or not. It doesn't matter. You can now decide that you love her or whatever this is, but it doesn't matter because there's a proper way to do things, and that's not what
And
was
you
done.
didn't do it. All right. Okay. I agree. All right. Anything else there?
No.
All right.
All right. Genesis chapter 34, verses 13 to 17. The sons of Jacob answered Shechem and his father Hamor deceitfully because he had defiled their sister Dinah. They said to them, "We cannot do this thing to give our sister to one who is uncircumcised, for that would be a disgrace to us. Only on this condition will we agree with you, that you will become as we are by every male among you being circumcised. Then we will give our daughters to you, and we will take your daughters to ourselves, and we will dwell with you and become one people. But if you will not listen to us and be circumcised, then we will take our daughter and we will be gone."
So we get an answer.
Yeah.
Who answers?
The
Jacob?
brothers. Not Jacob.
Yeah.
I wonder if he knows his sons, and that's why it's like he kept his peace until they came. Does he know them to be a certain way? Like in what is the boys? What's the man name? Rachel and Leah's father, right? In that story where they come to get Rebecca, he is the one speaking and saying,
Right.
"Hey, these are the things." Like, is it the place of the sons to speak on behalf of their sisters? Is that the culture?
Yeah, I think we read in that time that it was not out of the norm for the sons to be speaking on behalf of the sister. Now, Laban, I think, was probably the eldest son. So it would probably be more aligned if it were Reuben speaking to them.
Yeah, but we don't know who's speaking. The sons of Jacob, whoever they are speaking. And this kind of goes back to we know they were in the field when this happened, right? And they're coming. Are they having this discussion as they're coming? We know these brothers. We know we know because of Joseph's story that they scheme together. They talk together. This group may be talking about this. This group may be talking about that. So as they're coming back, is that the plan? Because how do we come up with this so quickly?
Yeah, and it's true. It could have been on the way back. They were sort of figuring out what to do. I agree. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, and it's saying they're answering him deceitfully, so they already must have some plan in place.
Yeah, and that's why. So to me, when I see that word deceitfully, it sets me up for the rest of the chapter. And as we get further along, we see who the culprits are.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, well, was that the deception? What else would have been the deception?
I think that is the deception, but I don't know. Similar to Joseph's story, we don't know who was involved and then who ultimately did the thing, right?
Okay.
Because in Joseph's story, all of them, quote unquote, throw him into this pit. All
Mhm.
of them are planning to kill him. One decides to sell.
Reuben. No, Judah decides to
Well,
sell.
Yeah, Reuben decides to, I want to save him.
Right.
Judah decides to sell him.
Yes.
But in the midst of all of this, all of them were in on a plan. Did they know that the ultimate plan was we're going to do this?
Right.
Maybe not. Maybe the plan was we make them get circumcised. Maybe we beat them up a little bit. Like, I don't know. We don't know what the original plan is because it's not spelled out like it was in Joseph's story. But we know that at the point of them saying get circumcised, we're already scheming. There's already something that's being plotted.
Yeah. So you're saying that just the mere fact of them saying to do this, that this may have been all that their plan sort of, it just culminated in them doing this.
I'm saying we don't know what the ultimate end point was supposed to be. Like, was the plan, okay, spoiler, I guess, was the plan to kill all of these people, or was the plan something else? Was the plan to go take my sister, get her out of here, and we start moving? They can't chase after us. They won't know where we're going, but we know she's safe. Was the plan, like, it could be anything, but we need to immobilize these people so that we can carry out whatever our plan is.
Yeah, I don't think I looked at it that way. I looked at it as the plan was always to go in and to destroy all of these folks. That's what I thought the plan was.
It could
all
be.
along.
It could be.
And so that's why when I look at this, I see those two who actually did the destroying, as opposed to all of the brothers being complicit in here.
Mm.
And we have to bring up, I think we have to bring up, well, maybe not, but was it chapter 48 or chapter 49 of Genesis where um
Did Jacob
where
give them the
Jacob is
blessings?
given the blessing,
Mhm.
and he's also almost prophesying and telling them where they'll have land and what's going to be of their lives. He basically discounts Reuben, and we'll see why the next chapter. But then he discounts Simeon and Levi because of their anger and because of them lifting up the sword,
Mhm.
as we'll see here in a moment.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it doesn't prove that the plan was something else initially, but it does show, as it says here, that they do some things that are, we can argue whether they are too far or not.
Yeah.
Um, what does anything strike you in their plan? So we know it's deceitful, but anything strike you about what they're doing to set up the outworking of their plan?
Mm, I don't know. I guess because it is deceitful, and that's what I'm looking at it as. It's they have to be convincing, right? You have to make it so that, oh, the least you can do is this. In order for you to be a part of us, this is what we all like. We're all circumcised, so you would have to be circumcised. Like, they're making it sound like it's not that bad, especially from a dad who worked 14 years. Like, you can get circumcised. You'll heal in a couple days, and then it'll be all right.
Yeah, I don't know. The fact that this area is where I th- I think that the brothers are doing too much. I want to take this sign that the Lord has put in place to as a sign of his covenant, as a sign of his covenant people, and
Mhm.
use it in a deceptive manner for a group that I do not want to make part of my group
To
ultimately.
be a part of the blessing, yeah.
Right? Because that was the thing. If you have this sign, then you're in. And we pointed this out when he gave it to Abraham, if you don't have this sign, then you're out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to tell you to get the sign. And I still really don't want you in. I'm going to do something that really proves and shows that I don't want you in. But I'm going to use this to sort of set you up. That sits funny with me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's too much. It just, why, of all the things to do, why pull out circumcision?
I mean, what else would they are scheming, so nothing is off limits to them.
Yeah. And I think that's my thing, right? There should be things that are off limits.
There should be.
If you, I'm going to bring it to today. If you are a believer, if you believe in Jesus Christ, there are some things that should be off limits. Not all ends justify the means. Here, I think that they're doing too much.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. And that's my big takeaway from this is that they're doing too much. They're besmirching this sign.
Yeah.
They're putting it in a bad light. They're using it for means that aren't what it was ultimately intended for. And so for that, they go too far. Just like in chapter 38, when Tamar dressed up as a prostitute. I know why, but you went too far.
I don't have no Tamar slander.
Okay. I didn't think I was slandering her.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I have nothing bad to say about her.
Yeah.
She did what she had to do.
Yeah.
But I see for the brothers, that's your sister though. So
Yeah, right.
life, like the whole, this is life. This is like, these are consequences.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. And that's why, again, why we started out saying this. When you look at this chapter, you have to look at the people. What do they do? Do they do too much? Do they not do enough?
Yeah.
Right? I think all of us, for any what am I thinking? Like you don't watch movies, but in the movies, when the big bad who's been antagonizing everyone and has gotten away with it, and he finally gets his comeuppance.
Mm.
You're like, yes. So it's not that you don't want to see justice served, but this is too far. This is, to me, it's too much. All right. Genesis chapter 34, verses 18 to 24. This is crazy. Their words pleased Hamor and Hamor's son Shechem. And the young man did not delay to do the thing because he delighted in Jacob's daughter. That is so weird. Huh. Now he was the most honored of all his father's house. So Hamor and his son Shechem came to the gate of their city and spoke to the men of their city, saying, "These men are at peace with us. Let them dwell in the land and trade in it. For behold, the land is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters as our wives, and let us give them our daughters. Only on this condition will the men agree to dwell with us, to become one people, when every male among us is circumcised as they are circumcised. Will not their livestock, their property, and all their beasts be ours? Only let us agree with them, and they will dwell with us." And all who went out of the gate of his city listened to Hamor and his son Shechem. And every male was circumcised, all who went out of the gate of his city.
Mm.
So they bought it. They bought the deceitful act.
Yeah.
Shechem, he says, the young man did not delay to do the thing. Why? Because he delighted in Jacob's daughter. Man, this is just crazy.
Yeah.
So we see something similar to what we saw in Ruth in terms of getting together at a specific location to talk it through.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen the gate a bunch
Mhm.
of times now.
Yep.
So it's where all the business happens.
Right.
I don't know that I would be that easily convinced. I know they're saying he's important, but we don't know why is he important? Why is he honored amongst his father's kids? What's special about Shechem?
So my understanding is that word honor just means that people held him in high esteem. So his word carried weight. Now, exactly how or why, what he did to do it. Did he win a bunch of battles? Was he gregarious? Did he seem to be a man of the people? We don't know, but just
Yeah.
that he was held in that esteem, which lends to the fact that at the gate, as he's speaking to try and convince these people to do this thing, which normally I don't think people would do, especially at an older age. That's why he held such sway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not, I don't know. I think also them starting with the like these people are pleased with or at peace with us was interesting because again we assume everyone knows the situation because it's going around so quickly.
hmm But we also know that they answered deceitfully, so we know that the brothers are up to something.
Yeah, but
But
these people
their
don't.
thought,
Yeah,
right, is that hey, they must like us.
yeah,
They
they're
must. They
they're not
must.
upset
They must.
with.
Right. They must be picking up what we're laying down. They want to do all of these things with us that
Yeah,
we talked about.
yeah, and then the whole well, not their livestock, their property, their beasts, all of that be ours. It's like we're gonna gain. Like there's something to gain
Right.
here. So is that enough? As someone who lives in this city, do we not have enough that Jacob and his family stuff is that appealing that I would go get circumcised?
I think that when they get to the point of starting to talk about all their stuff will be ours, that's not how it was presented to, you know, Jacob and the brothers. It was come in, dwell with us, right? We'll become one, which isn't like a takeover, which is what it seems like in here. Like their stuff is going to be our stuff. Like we're going to basically wipe them out, not by killing them all, but just by being so overwhelming and that we have many more people than they do. So we'll be able to assimilate them in earlier and there'll be no more. That's
I
how
don't
I
know if I
read it.
read it like that. I read it as they're going to be living amongst us, so
hmm
we it's a community, right? So everybody's sharing resources. So if they are living amongst us, they are using the land, they're doing all the things here. Everything they have now becomes ours. If we're, you know, marrying into this family, marrying into that family, the same way that Jacob built his wealth from um marrying his wives and kind of just acquiring things through being there and doing just living life together. I think is the same way they are saying they're going to be amongst us. Like if I marry your one of your sons, he has livestock that now becomes my family's livestock. Like we're all blending together. We're living as one community. Not that we're going to wipe them out, but
I don't know. When I read when will not their livestock, their property, and all their beasts be ours, I don't think of and when I read that, I don't read, oh, we're gonna be one big community.
but it says, but the men will only on this condition will the men agree to dwell with us and become one people.
hmm
One people. Like I'm not planning to wipe you out. I'm planning to merge. We're becoming one people. When you become one with your wife, you don't kill the wife. You become one. Like y'all merge together and y'all are one. So it's no distinction with this is mine and this is yours. It's all ours now.
Yeah. I still don't I don't know whether they were trying to stroke the egos of them that were there to put this in there, because you don't have to say this sentence. You don't have to ask this question if you just talked about us being one people, right?
Yeah, but to me, what is the benefit of us being one people? The benefit is they have livestock, they have beasts, they have property, they have whatever. I mean, they've only bought the one piece of land, which they bought from Hamor, him, or one of the sons of Hamor previously, right? So that's all the land, quote unquote, that they have. So what are you really getting? This is what you're getting. Because if you're just saying, hey, they're at peace with us, let them stay here, why?
I can see.
What's the benefit?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't get there. I see what you're saying, because in the sentences before, right? Let them dwell in the land, trade in it. Behold, the land's large enough. Daughters, wives, our daughters to them, right? I don't know why you had to put that last piece in there. If they mean ours as a community, I guess I can see that.
Because if I just want to take your stuff and kill you, we don't need to get circumcised for that. We can just overthrow you right now.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. That's true. Okay. I'm not going to die on this hill. Um, anything else? They listened to him and they went out and did the thing.
Yeah.
Did not delay to do the thing, so they did the thing too, just like Shechem.
Yeah. People crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a lot. We know that Jacob has a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Just out of what he was willing to give to his brother,
Yep.
he has way more than that. So
Definitely
it might be worth it to the people.
It might be. I mean, that's how you got bigger, is you either took somebody's stuff, you took somebody over, or you married into it.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Genesis chapter 34, verses 25 to 29. On the third day, when they were sore, two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brothers, took their swords and came against the city while it felt secure and killed all the males. They killed Hamor and his son Shechem with the sword and took Dinah out of Shechem's house and went away. The sons of Jacob came upon the slain and plundered the city because they had defiled their sister. They took their flocks and their herds, their donkeys, and whatever was in the city and in the field. All their wealth, all their little ones, and their wives, and all that was in the houses, they captured and plundered.
Ooh. I put the SpongeBob 3 days later.
Yeah.
So now we get two people named,
Mm-hmm.
right? Simeon and Levi. We talked about that already. We know that Simeon and Levi are Dinah's brothers by blood from Leah, right? There's that word sword again. So we know that they're going to battle. They're going to do damage. They're not going to do anything else, right? Not going to hunt or anything. They're going to deal with some people.
Yeah.
What about came against the city while it felt secure? Did that strike you in any way?
The only thing I could think is that they felt secure in the sense that no one's attacking you, but you also have this group here, like the brothers, and that whole group should be kind of protecting you guys because you guys are planning to merge.
Yep.
So you feel like they're the only ones close by. We're not expecting them to attack us, like we're
Right.
doing this for them.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
they thought.
Yeah. I mean, to them, there was no reason to expect some sort of attack like this.
Yeah.
They had, as far as they knew, made a deal, but the brothers answered deceitfully.
Yeah.
As far as they knew, they were living up to their end of the deal. So they were just like trying to heal up. But then Simeon and Levi killed all the males. And then they also got Hamor and Shechem and took them out by the sword.
Yeah.
So.
And they got their sister out of that house.
Yes. They took their sister Dinah out. So Too much? Too excessive?
I should
Go
say yes.
No,
I should say yes because that's the right thing to say.
it is the right thing to say because all of those men didn't
Yeah.
really have anything to do with it. It was really a shock.
Yeah. But they couldn't have just killed the two that, or they couldn't have just killed Shechem. It wouldn't have been
Probably
possible.
not,
Yeah.
because if he is honored, then that's going to cause everybody else to probably be in an uproar, and his dad, is going to have a fit.
Yeah.
So this is again, it's life where it's like no, the only person in this that doesn't seem, in my mind, to have done anything, I'll say it wrong, is Dinah,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I think as you go through this, you can see points where, okay, I can see some action being taken, but to this extent, I can see some action being taken, but deceitfully using this sign that has been instituted by God. I can see how bad you are at the beginning by doing what you do, but then if I didn't know any better, right? And the way that you're pleading, would I think that you truly care for her in some
Yeah.
weird way? Right? It's all of this stuff is mixed in here, and it's so ambiguous as to who and when and how, and so that's why this chapter, I want to say it fascinates me, but that's not the right way to put it because it's not like ooh it's more like, man, are we really that difficult?
Yeah.
Right? Are we really that um hot or cold? One day we can be like this, the next day we can be like that, and then to top it off, the Lord is working through these people, the
Yeah.
sons of Jacob, and Jacob himself to build out a nation.
Yeah.
So it's just it just lets me know how hard it is, how hard things can be.
Yeah.
Um so then they do the thing, right, with all the males and such, Simeon and Levi. But then we go back to, like you were saying, the sons of Jacob.
Yeah.
They come back and they, do some more stuff.
All and it just keeps repeating because they defiled their sister.
Yes.
So that's why I was like, I don't know what the original plan was. Because if this sons of Jacob here is including others outside of
That's what I read.
Simeon and Levi, then all of y'all are kind of, I mean, you didn't go and do the killing, but you
Right.
were all okay with it.
You're
You all were okay with the plan of
Yep.
let's get them all circumcised. You all were okay with, so it's the same. The brothers of Jacob are the people I need to talk to. I mean, the sons of Jacob are the people I need to talk to when I go to heaven
That's
because
right.
y'all, I want to know who. I just need to know. Like,
yeah.
how are y'all are such a, it's like a collective, but also separate in instances.
I can see you now, Moyo. Like, look, Ruben, come on, look. You can be honest. We up here now. We good, right?
Yeah.
You can talk to me.
You only got to talk to me. Take me to that little room so I can see for myself. Because I don't know what you're going to
You want
say.
the playback
Yeah, I
room?
want the playback room. Because knowing them, they'll tell me anything. But you can't lie in heaven.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I think that all of them had to be in on it to some degree. Including, I think even including Jacob himself, for to not speak up and say anything when they're saying this is what needs to be done. Why aren't you speaking?
Yeah.
If you don't think that your daughter should marry them, say that. If you do, say that. Like where do you stand in this?
Right.
And you're just not saying anything. Right. And maybe he's saying things because I know sometimes things are just not included. But based on this, we're just like, but where did Jacob stand?
Yes. And I think that's a big question throughout this entire chapter that we should be asking us.
Yeah.
That we should be. So Yeah, they come in and they clean up everything. Not clean up, but they just take everything back to their land,
Yeah.
their area. I mean, it's really sad on all fronts. Everything, with the potential exception of Shechem,
Yeah.
it's just like, man, because now no little ones and wives who don't have husbands, brothers, or fathers anymore,
Yeah.
right? And then they take all of their stuff to go along with it.
Yeah. It's always interesting when they take like the children. I can see wives being like, "What? Huh? Okay." Like but your kids I feel like are gonna want to avenge you when they grow up if they know any.
Yeah, yeah.
Cuz
Uh,
I don't know what age, like what's the cutoff?
right, for the males, right?
Because if I'm 10 and you kill my daddy, when I turn big enough to kill
18.
you, I feel like I'm gonna be coming
I'm
after
gonna be
you.
harboring that. Yeah. Yep. I get it. I get it. All right. Genesis chapter 34, verses 30 and 31. Then Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, "You have brought trouble on me by making me stink to the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites and the Perizzites. My numbers are few, and if they gather themselves against me and attack me, I shall be destroyed, both I and my household." But they said, "Should he treat our sister like a prostitute?"
That should be a
Whoa.
period. You know how the people be like, period. Should he treat our sister like a prostitute? Like,
Period.
that's the question
Yeah.
that we don't get an answer to.
Yeah. It strikes me as odd that now is when we finally hear from Jacob.
Yeah. But Jacob, we know, is very concerned about his lineage, even up to the splitting them up into two camps and then dividing them by, you go with your brothers in this line. Like there's something about the lineage, and maybe that's the part of the promise that he's holding on to, similar to, did Abraham do the same? I think Abraham was kind of the same. Like he was like, where's the son? Where's the son? Where's the son?
Yeah.
So that lineage is important to them.
It is.
And I get that. Like, I get that you're trying to protect the entire family. Is that why you're keeping the peace? Is that why you aren't speaking up? Is that why you're not making a decision? But also, God has already made you a promise that these things will be yours,
Right.
and has already shown himself to be faithful to keep his promises. So why are you so scared?
Yeah. I mean, because of what they see, because of what's around them. That's what he says, basically. The Canaanites and Perizzites, if they were to gang together and come against me, I wouldn't be able to do anything against them. I'm scared.
But you would. That's the point. The point is you would.
Oh,
You literally just had what's his name?
His brother Esau?
Well, not even Esau. His father-in-law coming after Laban. Why can't I think of your Laban coming after him, ready to do something, cause him some kind of harm, and being like, "Yeah, God told me I can't."
Yeah,
So
I can't. Right.
is that not enough?
You would think it would be. You would think it would be, but again, I think that we're talking about people, and even now, I think we do it all the time where we see something like, God took me through this. God helped me get out of this situation. God healed me from this cold. But then I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
This is bigger than anything I had to deal with in the past. Can God get me through this? Yeah, but God did. But this is different. This isn't anything I've seen before. This isn't a situation I've had to deal with before. And so sometimes I think that those things can move us to take our eyes off of who it is, to make sure all this stuff works out. All things work together for the good of them who love God and who are called according to his purpose.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always hard for me with like people who have this super close, a much closer interaction with God. They're seeing visions of God. They're seeing like
Right.
these
No, I get it.
major things.
Yep.
God is speaking to you.
Yep.
And then you're like,
Mm,
yeah, like
yeah.
it just, because in my little things in life, I'm like, every little thing, I'm like, hey God, it's me again. Like,
Right. I'm here.
yes, but they are in major situations and not thinking about God.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but and this isn't new because we saw the same thing with Abraham. We were
Mhm.
like, Abraham, pinnacle. He's ready to off his one and only son, the son that he loves,
Yeah.
right? But then we turn around in the next chapter and he's like, yeah, keep telling Abimelech that you're mine.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
makes sense.
It doesn't make sense.
But I think it doesn't make sense, but I think it does make sense. And it's something that we even now just need to watch out for. Because the fact that they had the straight on time with the Lord and saw him in visions, and the angel of the Lord appeared to them, and all of these things, and Bethel, right? And the Lord blessing them and telling them what's going to happen. We've got some of the same things in Jesus. Jesus said, "Lo, I am with you even to the end of the age." Jesus said that if I go, then I go and prepare a place for you. And if I had not said it's true, then it wouldn't be so. I'm paraphrasing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I've gone, then I'm coming back to get you and bring you to myself. We've got these promises. We haven't seen Jesus, right? Like the apostles have. But if you believe that this Jesus who died and was in a tomb for 3 days rose as the Son of God in power, we do the same things. We
Yeah.
get in situations and be like, it's too big even for God. We do.
I know people do. I'm thinking about my own life and I'm like, I literally like every little thing for me is like, excuse me, God.
Okay,
I
cool.
need
That's
a
good.
it yeah, but then I'm like in a major thing, I would expect the same.
I know.
And I don't know, I don't have that many major things that have happened in my life, but the ones that I can think of, I'm like, no, I was
You were
relying on
seeking, right?
God
Yeah.
because that was how I got through it. So
Right.
when it's here, it's like there's no points. There haven't been many points where people are going to see God. Like the one time we see it is when the twins are in the womb and she's like, I need to go seek
Right.
God about this,
Right.
which I get. But what about everything else?
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. I completely see it. Um,
And because I'm trying to think, like, is the seeking of God easier today for us? Like, we can just pray. I can be sitting on toilet. I can pray. Like, it doesn't have to be anything eh,
I don't know that.
ceremonial
Yeah.
or
No, I don't know that it's any easier or harder because it's the same way that you could pray. It doesn't say for Jacob's mom, Rebecca, that she set up an altar and it was just said, hey, she reached out to the Lord, which I think
yeah,
we just as we can now.
yeah,
Matter of fact, we've got Jesus who's sitting there, right? And he's being an intercessor for us. So it's if anything, it's even better because Jesus can be like, yeah, I know what's going on here. This is what they really need. This is what they're really asking for. Um, but I still think what this shows is that there's growth, and what this also shows is that righteousness and the people that God has chosen is not based on them,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's not based on how good they are. It's not based on anything they can bring. It's not. It's not. It's they are going to be these people of Israel because God has chosen them to be the people of Israel for no
yeah,
other reason. And we see their faith increase and grow, but we also see when they have the hiccups,
yeah,
right? And I think that some of that is some of us go through that as well. Um, I think could be a challenge for us not to think any less of them when they do have those, but to try and walk with them through it and to show grace. Now, if it becomes habitual, if it becomes to a point where it's a detriment to the body, where it's the same thing you're doing over and over again without regard for correction, then it's a different story.
yeah,
But if you just fall and you get back up, you dust yourself off, you keep trying to follow the Lord, we all do that. We all do that.
Yeah. I feel like I was channeling my inner Jasmine. She used to be like, why? But I get it. Like for this, it's like, bro, it's so easy. The answer's right there.
Yeah. And I think we, even as people, we just want to see straight through finish, no deviations. Everything just goes step by step, getting to that end point.
Yeah.
And
But it's
it does
also,
go
I
that way.
think it's interesting that I'm saying this for Jacob, but I'm not saying it for Simeon and Levi. Like I'm like, you had to protect your sister. So I'm being a little bit of a, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's some bias.
Yeah. And yeah, I get it. Because this is a hard one. This is a, like I said, Genesis 38 is a hard one, I think, too.
Yeah.
Between this chapter 34 and 38, I think that thus far those are two of the hardest chapters to completely wrap your head around because of the way that people behave in positions that we don't expect them to behave that way.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. So, anything else? I
Nope.
think that wraps up the chapter.
Yeah.
And so, with that, I think we've also started in our invitation, which we have pointed out several times in this episode that Jesus is the one that you need to believe in. Jesus is the one that you need to believe died for your sins, who was buried, and who was raised according to the scriptures. That's what you need to believe to be um, given eternal life, to be relieved from your sins, to be counted as righteous, to be justified um, before the Lord, to not be in condemnation, to not have the sentence that any other sinner would have on them, which is death, but to have no condemnation, to have no sentence. You need to believe in Jesus, and we can have those discussions about anachronisms, which I brought up earlier, and what it means to believe in Jesus in Abraham's time versus what it means to believe in Jesus now. But as of right now, where you and I are, we need to believe in Jesus, and that will have us counted to God as righteous.
Yeah.
Only in Him, only through Him. Oh man! So our urge, our plea, our desire is that you would believe. Um, Just believe he is who he says he is. There's no other way. There's no other way. All right. So, um, if you made a decision, just let us know. We'd love to hear from you. To believe, if you want to talk about a question or anything, we'd love to hear about you. Hear from you about that as well. Um, don't think I have anything else.
Nope.
All right. Like, subscribe, notification bell, all of those good things. Leave comments wherever you see us because we're on all the different platforms, TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and all of that good stuff. We like hearing from folks and seeing that they're engaging.
Yeah.
All right. All right, folks.
All
That's it.
right. Yep.
We out of here. Deuces.
Bye.